Presenting next on number 5 is Pakistan Education Academy Dubai. Please join your hands together in welcoming the participants of oral presentation from the same school. Participants, please proceed on the stage.
Imagine a child, half malnutritioned, with half of the clothes on his body, torn and ripped, walks towards a trash can just to search for something that satisfies his need of hunger. Isn't it sad that we just don't sit here and enjoy food, but also waste it?
Assalamu alaikum and a very good morning to everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, I, Ilaha Gurgani, along with Roha Tahir, Manal Sohail, and Sidra Nurullah, are here representing our school, Pakistan Education Academy. Today, we would like to take you on a journey that teaches us about the most important resource of ours, food.
Our motive for today is not just to talk about the consequences and the possible courses of action for this issue, but also to realize that this horrendous act of wasting food is an illness and it's a disease that is spreading like a raging fire. Being an environmentalist myself, this hurts and it needs to be stopped.
Each year, 1.3 billion tons of food, about a third of all that is being produced, is completely wasted. This includes about 45% of all fresh foods and vegetables, 35% of fishes and seafood, 30% of cereals, 20% of dairy products, as well as 20% of meat.
Now let us proceed towards talking about the country that we live in. Let us talk about the food wastage in the United Arab Emirates. 13 billion dirham worth of food is wasted every year in the Emirates, which is equal to 3.27 million tons of food. And that is equal to everybody in the UAE throwing 5 bowls of rice in the trash every single day. According to the Carbon, the Emirates ranks among the top nations for per capita waste generation around the world. 38% of food prepared every day in the Emirates is wasted, which jumps up to 60% in the month of Ramadan.
In addition to that, we were given an amazing opportunity by our school to attend the World Green Economy Summit. At WEDEX 2016, His Excellency Matar Al-Tahir, Chairman of the Board and Executive Director of UTTR, was asked about what steps is Dubai taking to reduce the food wastage. And his response was, and I quote, "There are new projects undertaken to use organic waste to generate electricity. This is one of the practices in Dubai to fulfill the requirement of sustainability."
Now, let's proceed on to a much broader perspective. Let us see what the countries around the world have to say about this issue. Let us begin with our beloved country, Pakistan. According to estimates, around 40% of food prepared at events, especially weddings, is wasted when people rush towards the food and fill up their plates with more food than they can actually consume. According to a report put forward by the Islamabad DEFCON Club, more food is wasted in Ramadan than any other month in Pakistan.
Italy. Italy is one of my favorite countries. It is known for its delicious food such as pizza, pasta, bread, among many others. Let's see what Italy is doing to tackle down this issue. Italy has made it easier for companies as well as factories to donate food to charities and is encouraging a greater use of the doggy bags at restaurants as a part of the legislative push to curb the epidemic of the food waste. A law passed in the Senate will help Italy recover 1 million tons of food a year for the needy.
Good news for France. France has become the first country in the world to ban supermarkets from throwing away or destroying food that is unsold, forcing them instead to throw them into charities, which will basically benefit the poor people, and food banks, which will redistribute it among different countries.
It is one thing reading and knowing about this issue, but it is much better to see and realize what is actually happening in our environment. I would like to request Roha to proceed with her visual presentation on food waste.
All right, so
God.
Here, it's like, here I had a few biscuits that were actually being dumped at my household due to the reason that they were expired and obviously they could not be consumed. Obviously no one wants to poison themselves. So here I had a few biscuits and I planned on bringing them here to show you people as to how much food is being wasted, where it's being wasted, and as to how much of it is required to feed our 7.5 billion population with. All right, so here I have 9 biscuits in my hand, rather rusks, I would say. And out of these 9 rusks, 1 of the rusks is lost due to farming malfunctions. And that is basically when food is wasted before it even actually leaves the field. So we're losing 1 biscuit out of the 9 biscuits. Proceeding towards the next 3 biscuits, we choose to feed these 3 biscuits to our livestock. And our livestock, being inefficient creatures, lose the 2 out of the 3 in the form of feces and heat waste. So 2 are lost, and 1 is retained to feed our population. So proceeding towards the next 2 biscuits. These 2 biscuits are lost in the actual food waste, which is occurring in grocery stores and supermarkets due to the reason of their appearances, cosmetically and aesthetic appearances. So 2 of the biscuits are lost over there. So if we realize that we had 9 biscuits when we first started the visual presentation, and now we're just left with 4 biscuits to feed our 7.5 billion population with, this is crazy, and we have to come up with some ideas that would actually benefit and reduce this humongous amount of food waste.
At the consumer level, we can reduce our contribution to food and energy waste by taking simple steps and basic steps at home, in the grocery store and at restaurants. Here are some ways to reduce food wastage on a personal scale. Embrace your leftovers. Keep and cook your leftover food instead of throwing them away.
Using expired food. We can actually use expired food for making many things. Let us take an example of sour milk. We can use sour milk to make dog or cat biscuits and feed it to hens once it's curdled.
Cutting food with consumer apps. Innovative apps such as Green Egg Shopper allow consumers to save food and money in simple steps that would reduce food wastage right at our own home.
To sum things up, buy what we need and eat what we buy.
And now, I would like to present to you the ways we could combat wastage of food on a much larger scale.
Delivering groceries via drones. Using drones, the members receive same-day and early morning delivery on groceries and other items such as toys, deliveries, and electronics and household goods. The goal is to expand to more cities and eventually use drones to deliver packages.
Automated food waste tracking system. Food waste tracking systems seek to replace the food industry's inefficient waste management with the industry's first fully automated food waste tracking system. Ladies and gentlemen, last but not least, my team and I have come up with our very own innovative solutions to food waste problem. Raise your hands if any of you have played the Pokemon Go or even heard about it. Yeah, that's what I thought. But for those of you who are not familiar with Pokemon Go is a built-in Niantic's real-world gaming platform and will use real locations to encourage players to search far and wide in the real world to discover Pokemon. Pokemon Go allows you to find 100 species of Pokemon as you explore your surroundings. All right, now imagine using such a popular game to tackle down our worldly issues such as food waste. We were inspired by this game so much that we decided to create our own very own innovative solution to food waste problem. So, here's how it goes. The player would go around for food, looking for food in the form of waste. This will happen with the help of a built-in GPS that will guide the user towards those nearby locations. As the user encounters those waste, all he has to do is to capture and scan the waste, and in this way, he will earn points in the game. But it does not end there. The user will immediately be recommended to go to a nearby place, such as restaurants, charities, factories, where he would have to drop those waste, and only then he would level up in the game each time. So here's the million-dollar question. Are you a player or are you a watcher? The choice is yours.
Coming towards our second innovative plan, which is a solution for food being wasted in industries, factories, groceries, and similar sources. E-trash is what we name it. Since wastes from such sources are thrown directly into dumpsters, our plan includes a technologically stimulated dumpster that would have the capability to manipulate and scan the food within it. This machine would also have a screen on the outside. So whenever food would be dumped, it would be scanned by this dumpster, and the result would appear on the screen. The result would basically give us opinions on how the food could be used respectively. For example, if the food is shown to have higher organic content, it could be used as fertilizers. The food that is still fresh and is shown to be capable of consumption could be sent to food banks. And the food that is somewhat rotten and cannot be used for consumption could be used to convert it into methane. And we all know methane is a cooking gas. So this idea could be carried out on a large scale, and we would all contribute to making a world a more sustainable dwelling.
Rubik's Cube. This is a portable, cheap device that will allow its users to carry it wherever they go. This device is similar to that of a Rubik's Cube. Now, we people are prone to boredom in our lives. We all want to occupy our hands with something in order to pass our time. With this device, all you do is you carry it wherever you want to go. During your free time, you can just play with it. But there's always a twist to everything. This device allows you to scan whatever waste that you may encounter in your surroundings, be it a piece of paper or an orange peel. Now, it will also give you a recommendation, a DIY recommendation that you could apply to those wastes. For example, an orange peel. When you find an orange peel, you can scan it with this device, and one of its recommendations would be to blend that peel with lemon and honey and make your own very facial mask at your home. This innovative device is predominantly beneficial to art students or even those who just want to get creative in their lives.
To sum everything up, wasting food is not good for anyone in any way. It is harmful to our economy, it is harmful to our environment, and it is also against our own ethical justification. The best thing to do with food is to eat and enjoy it for the sake of the generation that we live in, for the sake of our planet, and for the sake of all the organisms that share our planet with us. Whenever we talk about global issues as such, you'll rarely come across people who really want to see a change within themselves.
Always remember that change begins with you and I. The dream of a better world begins with you and I. Let us unite as a team and change for the world rather than waiting for the world to change for us. To transform ideas into realities, we have to work as one team with one vision and one mission. Stop wasting food. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, team. Now I would like to invite your further participants so that we can proceed with the question and answer sessions.
Hi team, excellent job. I really liked the presentation and
Thank you so
especially
much. Thank you.
the biscuits and everything. You know, it was a good experiment to show on stage. One of the things that you mentioned with that experiment was that there is a percentage loss of food that reaches your plate because of transport and storage.
Yes.
So in your large-scale industrial solutions, do you have any solutions to cut down on waste in transport of food and from farm to the supermarkets?
We did mention about the drones, right? The drones, they're actually the solution to it.
You can tell them.
So what the drones basically do is, rather than having a lot of food, supplied to different grocery stores at the same time, what the drones could do is they could like supply sufficient amounts, like lesser amounts, but more frequently. So food would be preserved rather than, being rotten. So that was one of the things it was the use of drones.
So
basically.
when you're like putting in trucks, it takes time.
Yeah.
Like if it's gonna reach the grocery stores, a lot of food they put it in there, and the truck's humidity levels, the food life reduces. So that's where we came up with the drones
Drones.
thing.
Any further questions?
That's it?
Make it very quick.
Okay.
I had an opportunity to showcase during the WETEX about the food recycling. Food is a major concern, as you have highlighted, and at the same time, I was hoping that you would have come up with a better solution than the one which I've seen, the one which was
E-trash.
e-cycle. Could you tell me a little bit more about e-cycle,
All
please?
right.
Sir, these are innovative.
These are
and
our
our
own
topic,
ideas.
and the main theme of this whole competition is innovative solutions to those problems. And to those problems, yeah. So these solutions are practical, and it can actually happen
And
in,
they're our
in the
own,
next
it's our
future
original.
generation, or just now, in next few years.
Wait,
So,
you want to know
you
about
wanna-
the e-trash, right?
E-trash, about the e-trash.
Can
Let's
you have
go.
that slide?
Can you have that slide, please?
Yeah. Yeah. So basically, the best thing about this, it's our thing.
Yes.
We came up with this. It's
With
original.
all three of them.
We tried
Yep.
to become as original as anything.
Yeah.
So I'll
It's okay,
explain.
just go on.
Even the circuit, everything you saw up there, it was original. Google didn't have that. So,
Yeah. We actually made it of
Yeah.
our own. It's our own idea.
so I'll explain. Hold on.
Just go on, we don't have enough time.
All right. Could you go back?
That's our own.
Yeah.
Not
So
copied?
even the dumpster was made by using interior designing software, and the screen on top basically indicates the touch screen, how it's going to be user friendly. Next. So what's going to happen inside the dumpster? All right, what's the working of it. Every machine has a motherboard to it, like a CPU to a monitor, right? So first, when you're making a machine, we're like, how would the machine would detect the food waste?
Yeah.
So you need sensors. Temperature? No. Light? No. So we came up 2 sensors that are going to be used in the dumpster. Biosensors and image sensors. So here's the working. The biosensors consists of a transducer. Do I have to say what sensors are? I think you guys know, right? All of you. Cool. So what a transducer does is like, basically, why do we need sensors? Biosensor detects presence of pathogens that helps in increasing the viruses and bacteria.
Chemical compositions, basically.
So biosensor is very sensitive, so it detects it really fast. So what the transducer does, it converts that into electrical. Then comes our circuit, made by us, that one, okay? So there's a resistor and the transducer, and then a diode. So it's like, get it? So,
Get
yeah.
it?
And then once that reaches, when the current flows and goes to the next part, there we have our image sensor. It basically, what an image sensor does is changes the information it receives into a image
Visual.
using RGB, which is red, blue, and green, mixing colors together to display our output. So input, processing, and output. Got it?
And the other two, thank you so much. Thank you very
Thank you
much.
so much, school.
Teamwork. And about the other two, Rubik's Cube and Rescue Go.
Rescue.
Yeah.
These are for the youths. I mean,
Yeah.
for anyone.
Pakistan Youth
It's
Forum, right?
entertainment. Oh my God, it's awesome.
If we came up with this idea, it was like bomb.
We were like, whoa.
So,
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm supposed to